joy and friends to be found. Let's talk in English. Learning together can be fun. The journey's begun. The journey's begun. Let's talk in English.
So, you want me to act like your teacher?
Yes, Andrea. If we want the students to practice what they learn in each lesson, well, then we need to show them how to do it.
That's true. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk in English on PTS and the radio. My name's Andrea. My name is Miss Broderson.
Miss Broderson.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Campbell. It's great to see you again. Oh, Miss Broderson. Miss Broderson.
Oh, yes, Campbell. Do you have a question?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Can you explain our homework assignment one more time?
Yes, your homework assignment. What would that be, your homework assignment?
Keywords.
Oh, yes, of course. Your homework assignment is to learn today's key words. Now, Campbell, I'd like you to write one sentence for each key word.
Write one sentence for each key word. Okay, anything else?
Yes, I'd also like you to watch Let's Talk in English and listen for the answer to today's mission.
Today's mission? What's that?
Well, today's mission, here it is. Why does Trina ask Mrs. Black to explain the math problem again?
Why does Trina ask Mrs. Black to explain the math problem again? Okay, I got it.
All right, good job, Campbell. You're a very good student.
Well, thank you.
All right, now let's begin our lesson with Conversation A.
Okay, everyone, if you haven't already, please put your math homework on my desk. Hi, Mandy.
Hi, Mrs. Black.
This is an interesting article you wrote for the school paper.
Thanks. You really like it?
Well, I'd like to talk to you about it sometime.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, Mandy. I didn't mean to bump into you.
Oh, that's okay, Trina.
What's going on here? Mandy goes into her math class and sits down. The teacher tells everyone who hasn't already handed in their homework they should do that. Okay, well, that's a usual way to start class.
Then Mrs. Black talks to Mandy about the article she wrote for the school paper. She says it's an interesting article and she'd like to talk about it sometime, but she doesn't say she likes it.
And then Trina bumps into Mandy. But she doesn't sound very sorry when she says, "Oh, sorry, Mandy, I didn't mean to bump into you." Trina! Trina, that's the girl who got the biggest part in the play.
Oh, right, the principal's daughter.
Yes.
Now, where is Mandy when all this happens? Well, she's in math class. Now let's learn this keyword.
Math. Math. Math is a class where you study about numbers and shapes.
In math class, you learn about numbers and shapes. Now, math is the short way to say mathematics. M-A-T-H-E-M-A-T-I-C-S. Now, that's a long word, so we just say math.
So, students, do you like math class? Who's your math teacher? Our next keyword here is bump into. Bump into. When you bump into something, you hit it. You can bump into a person or bump into a thing.
Right, if you bump into a person, it's nice to say, "Excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bump into you."
Well, let's continue our lesson with Teacher Thomas.
Great article, Mandy.
Thanks, Chris.
You really made Trina look bad. I love it.
Chris, please raise your hand if you want to say something.
Sorry, Mrs. Black. I was just talking to Mandy.
Next time, please wait till after class to talk to Mandy.
Yes, Mrs. Black.
Excuse me, Mrs. Black. Could you please explain that math problem again? I couldn't hear you because Chris was talking.
Sure, Trina. Okay, so...
Welcome back. So in our conversation, we found out why Trina seems to be so mad at Mandy.
Yes, a student named Chris talks to Mandy. She thinks Mandy wrote a great article. She loves that Mandy made Trina look bad.
This means that the article Mandy wrote made others think that Trina isn't so great.
I guess she decided to write how she really feels about Trina's acting.
Uh-oh. Well, we'll see what happens. First, let's learn our keyword, raise one's hand. Raise one's hand. If you raise your hand, this means you put your hand in the air.
Right, you raise your hand. You put your hand in the air. Now in class, you might raise your hand to ask your teacher a question, or raise your hand to answer a question.
Right, if you want to talk in class, the right thing to do is to raise your hand. That way your teacher knows you want to say something. Okay, we have the answer to today's mission in this conversation. Why does Trina ask Mrs. Black to explain the math problem again?
Why does Trina ask Mrs. Black to explain the math problem again? I know the answer.
Yes, Andrea?
Okay, well, because she couldn't hear the math problem because Chris was talking.
Oh, I see. All right, everyone. That's all for us. Let's learn some more from Thomas.
Hey, Mandy, what class do you have next period?
Biology?
With Mr. Thompson in room 204?
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell my boyfriend.
Why?
He didn't like what you wrote about me in the paper.
I'm sorry, but what I wrote was the truth.
Well, I didn't like it either, so my boyfriend is going to do something about it.
Like what?
You'll see.
You'll see? Well, what is Trina's boyfriend going to do? Campbell, what is he going to do?
I don't know. All we know is that Trina's boyfriend didn't like what Mandy wrote about Trina in the newspaper.
Well, so what do you think he's going to do?
I don't know, but Trina is going to tell her boyfriend that Mandy has biology next period with Mr. Thompson in room 204.
So what do you think he's going to do?
Andrea, I don't know, but I think we're going to teach today's keyword, right?
Right, let's do that. Our first keyword is period. Period. Now, during school, you have different periods. A period is a time when a lesson happens.
A period. In junior high or in high school in America, the day is broken up into periods. A period might be a half hour, 30 minutes, or 40 minutes, or maybe even an hour.
You can ask, what class do you have next period? When does sixth period start? Our next keyword here is biology. Biology. Biology is a class. In biology, you study about animals and plants. You study about living things.
In biology, you learn about living things. In biology, you might learn about the human body or about the way plants grow.
Yeah, and you also learn about animals. Our calendar phrase here is, you'll see.
You'll see.
Well, we'll see what happens, but first you'll learn more from Thomas.
Keywords.
Let's review today's key words together. Our first keyword is math. Math. Arthur likes numbers. That's why he likes math.
Bump into. Bump into. Carrie bumped into the door and hurt her head.
Raise one's hand. Raise one's hand. Jacob raised his hand to answer his teacher's question.
Period. Period. Jerry and Jamie have the same classes, first, third, and sixth periods.
Biology. Biology. We learned about plants in biology class.
Okay, let's review these one more time. Math. Math.
Bump into. Bump into.
Raise one's hand. Raise one's hand.
Period. Period.
Biology. Biology.
Thank you for saying those with us. Now let's review today's conversations.
Okay, everyone, if you haven't already, please put your math homework on my desk. Hi, Mandy.
Hi, Mrs. Black.
This is an interesting article you wrote for the school paper.
Thanks. You really like it?
Well, I'd like to talk to you about it sometime.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, Mandy. I didn't mean to bump into you.
Oh, that's okay, Trina. Great article, Mandy. Thanks, Chris. You really made Trina look bad. I love it.
Chris, please raise your hand if you want to say something.
Sorry, Mrs. Black. I was just talking to Mandy.
Next time, please wait till after class to talk to Mandy.
Yes, Mrs. Black.
Excuse me, Mrs. Black. Could you please explain that math problem again? I couldn't hear you because Chris was talking.
Sure, Trina. Okay, so
Hey, Mandy, what class do you have next period?
Biology?
With Mr. Thompson in room 204?
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell my boyfriend.
Why?
He didn't like what you wrote about me in the paper.
I'm sorry, but what I wrote was the truth.
Well, I didn't like it either, so my boyfriend is going to do something about it.
Like what?
You'll see.
Two-word verbs.
What are you doing with that ball?
I'm practicing.
For what?
I'm going to try out for the neighborhood basketball team.
You?
Go ahead and laugh. I'm going to try out anyway.
I see. So Aaron is going to try out for the neighborhood basketball team. 这里的 neighborhood basketball team 就是社区的篮球队。那 Aaron 想要做什么呢？ He is going to try out for that team. 意思说他要去参加这个社区篮球队的甄选。那如果是 to try on 又是什么意思呢？我们赶快来看。
Well, I'm going to try on my new clothes.
Okay, let me see.
What? What's wrong?
Becca, you look silly. Now that you've tried on those clothes, I think you should take them back to the store.
Very funny.
Try on 原来是试穿，所以呢 to try on the new clothes 意思就是把新的衣服试穿一下。 哦，所以跟前面那个 to try out for the basketball team 参加这个篮球队的甄选都是尝试啊，不一样的尝试，一个是参加甄选这种尝试，一种是试穿新衣服。I got it.
Calendar phrase.
You'll see.
You'll see.
待会儿你就知道。
What did you make for dinner?
You'll see.
It smells good. What is it?
You'll see.
I'm so hungry. Are we having pizza?
You'll see.
Well, I brought something for dessert.
You did? What is it?
You'll see.
You'll see.
You'll see.
待会儿你就知道。
Here's our QOD. Have you ever had a problem with someone? What did you do about it?
Yes, I have. I've had problems with my friends before. What I usually like to do is talk to them about it. That usually helps.
That's a good idea. Good answer, Campbell. We'll see you next time on Let's Talk in English.
On PTS and the radio.
And remember, learning English can be fun.
Bye.